follow this request. And another thing is that please refrain taking pictures or videos of the talk. So if you do so and these pictures would leak into other various internet outlets, you might be accountable for some data privacy violations. So we wish to keep the identity of our participants private, including you as well. And then also, please be wary of our annotation tool in our Zoom meeting. That's the pencil icon. Since once the annotation tool is activated, you might unconsciously swerve your arrow towards the speaker's presentation, and then you might draw unnecessary lines, and this may block participants' view on some text and images on the slides. So this could also cause distraction to the participants and also to the speaker. And other things, if you have any questions, for sure later on we want to be this webinar to be as engaging as possible. If you have any questions, though while the talk is ongoing, you may put them in our Q&A box here in our Zoom room. And after the talk, you will have also the chance to ask your questions, but we wish you to only use the Q&A box rather than unmuting because of time constraints. And then also, lastly, do not forget to evaluate. So we truly want to improve how you're doing things. So your input on the webinar will help us for the upcoming webinars. And then after you have answered the forms, you'll be given a proof of participation. So the evaluation link will be open right after the webinar, and it will be open only for 10 minutes. And as mentioned, we are also live on our TLRC UP Cebu. So if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and like and engage also in our posts. So for those, if anyone who's watching via YouTube, you will get also your proof of participation by staying until the end of the session. We'll also be announcing the instructions via the live chat. So please stay tuned. And then, of course, for everyone, please make sure to follow us for more webinar and training updates. Please follow and contact us through these various platforms. For our Facebook page, we have the Teaching and Learning Resource Center, University of the Philippines, Cebu. And for our YouTube, TLRC UP Cebu. And also we have our website, tlrc.upcebu.edu.ph. And you can also email us at lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph. So I think that's it. We're ready for our webinar for this afternoon. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Vera.
you so much, Miss Paula. Okay, so I'm excited for the talk. And of course, before that, we need to introduce to you our speaker and our very handsome, enigmatic coordinator is here to introduce her to us.
Wow, thank you so much, Miss Jara, and also Miss Paula. Nakakahawa yung smiles niyo. Oh my God, nakaka-pressure. Okay, so again, good afternoon, everyone. It is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker for this afternoon's event. She is a brand strategist and designer, hailing, of course, from the city of Cebu, specializing in assisting food and beauty businesses. She also helps them thrive in the digital realm through integrated branding and website solutions. Behind her professional endeavors, she is also a visual artist with a range of hobbies. Her days are actually primarily dedicated to her freelancing business, interspersed with moments of play with her dogs, and occasionally she focuses on creating artworks in preparation for upcoming exhibits. I know that we're all excited to hear and to see our speaker for this afternoon's event. So please help me welcome Miss Gerlinia Galdo. Hi, Miss. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Jolinia.
Is my audio audible?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So let me share my screen. Okay. Hello. Hold on. Stop share. Okay. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Julinia. So I graduated from UP, no, from I think 8 years ago. So I'm not sure if that's right. I graduated around 2015. So I graduated with a degree in fine arts, major in product design. So just in a whim, kanina lang, I was just checking, oh, I haven't introduced myself dito sa slides ko. So I checked my Facebook account, and apparently all of my college photos, they were like in trams playing soccer. So during my college years, I played soccer. I was like the head of fine art. So I did juggling. I did juggle a lot of things back then, but I didn't realize now that those things are the things that I'm passionate about. So, yeah. So, next. So, just a little bit of background. Miss Jera introduced me as someone who is a branding and website expert. So, yes, I've been doing it for the last 3 years, ever since the pandemic. So, I'm currently running my own branding and website design studio called Go Creatives. You may follow us on Instagram. And some of our clients were already featured in this media publications, Women Known, Pittsburgh, Forbes, TEDx, Vogue, and The Guardian. And some of our works were also featured there. Okay, so next, I'm also a visual artist on the side. So my current fixation right now is paper cutting. So if you're going to follow me in Instagram as well, you will also find my works there. So like a pastime wherein hindi ko na I can't focus on the time. Yung parang nagtatrabaho ako with my art right now. I didn't know what time is it, kung gabi na or hapon na. So, ito yung pampawala ko ng stress while doing my business, which is my branding and website design studio. Also, I love event organizing. So when my schedule allows, so I volunteer from here and there. So this one is an event that we did last year for freelancers here in Visayas. And this is an upcoming event that we're going to do in August. So it is a planning meeting. So from time to time, if my schedule permits, I do event organizing. I help with the events because it is something that I love to do and I'm happy to do, and I'm happy yung feeling na happy ka afterwards when you do it. Next, I'm also honing my public speaking skills. So, back in the day, I used to teach kids. Back in the day during college, I used to teach kids with the summer art workshop, and also I did tutor gigs back then. And also, I was a lecturer in the Emergency Rescue Unit Foundation in Airroof. Just in a whim na different, ang tawag nito, different course of a career. So I was a lecturer back then as well. So it paved the way with my public speaking stints. So now I've had different public speaking engagement in terms with branding and marketing. So these were some of the experiences that I've had. Next is I also do content creation. Wow, daming ginagawa, daming time. I also do content creation. So in terms of content creation in my TikTok account, I share branding and graphic design tips to freelancers and beginner graphic designers because apparently di gaanong marami yung resources for them. So I try to teach that into my TikTok, and I just recently started this year. And I'm also a full-time mom to my two dachshunds, Ava and also Nino. And just recently, I've rekindled my passion to photography and solo traveling, which I haven't done for years. Kasi yun nga, to focus on where do I want to go with my career. So this is just a recent trip that I realized, oh, this is something that I love that I haven't done for the longest time. So, wow, daming ginagawa. Sounds familiar, everyone? Do you also juggle multiple passions too? If yes, can you type one in the comments? Can they type one in the comments, Miss Jera?
Yes, miss.
Do you juggle multiple passions as well? Meron ba dito? Type one in the comments if you do. Okay, yan. Meron naman pala, akala ko lang. So today, if you're a multi-passionate like me, I think this webinar is going to be helpful to you. So we are going to talk about the art of balance or juggling your passion. So before anything else, ano ba talaga yung passion? What is passion, no? So according to Merriam-Webster, ito yung intense enthusiasm that makes you want to do something constantly. It's actually the joy, the fulfillment, and the purpose that you feel whenever you do something. But 'di ba sometimes, no, when we encounter people or people who are already doing good with their careers, they always tell you, "Oh, you just need to pursue your passion. You gawin mo lang 'to, gawin mo 'yan. Dapat you pursue your passion so that you could earn more, you could be able to you should be happy gano'n with your careers." But apparently, finding your passion, it's not a walk in the park. It's actually easier said than done. So passion doesn't really work that way. So before you can pursue your passion, you need to discover what your passions are. So you need to know, basically, ano ba tong mga passions na gusto ko? So that you'd be able to maximize and you'd be able to know the action steps on how you are going to maximize those. Now, today, I'm going to walk you through the tips on how are you going to know ano ba yung things that you're passionate about, to the challenges of being a multi-passionate, and three, what are the tips or the hacks that we can do to maximize our time, most especially to pursue our passions. So now, number one, in ang tawag nito, number one tip to know more about your passion is you need to create a vision statement. So ano ba tong vision statement? 'Di ba yung vision statement, we can see this in schools, in businesses, in companies. Why is that existent? Because your vision statement helps you go to your goal. So let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what do you want to be? Then once you figure out what your vision statement is, you'd be able to know ano ba yung decisions that you're going to do for you to be able to reach to that goal. So for example, this. So example lang ha. So our goal here is 5 years from now, I want to be a full-time visual artist and hold exhibitions in Asia and Europe. That's the vision. I wanted to be that person 5 years from now. So now we're going to work backwards. So, reverse engineering. Kasi, di ba, sometimes, napaka-broad lang ng, oh, I wanted to be someone like this, I wanted to be someone like that, I wanted to be a professor, I wanted to be something, I wanted to be anything I wanted to be. But it's just there. We don't work backwards for us to be able to get to that vision, to that something that we're dreaming of. So with this tip, you'd be able to know that, oh, this is the vision that I've had for myself. And for me to be able to get there, I'm going to work with these steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And consistently work on these steps until I reach this step, my goal and my visions. So 1, create a personal vision statement. Next, 2, make a list of the things that you love to do. So according to Socrates, no, that you should know thyself, you should know yourself. So for this, you need to jot down everything that you love, because self-awareness, number 1, is the key to unlocking your passions. So the goal here, an example here, this is something that I've read from Jack Canfield's book. For you to be able to know yourself more, you need to list down what are the 20 things that you love to do. So this is just an example here that we have. So 1, spending time with loved ones, traveling and exploring new places, engaging in hobbies, reading books, exercising, so on and so forth. So what I've did with this, in my notebook, I jot down like what are the 20 things that I love, and from there, like 3 or 5 things that you want to prioritize as of the moment, so that di tayo ma-o-overwhelm. Kasi that's the problem eh, whenever we have these things in mind, like nakalista tong 20, we're going to do it all at once. And once we can't do it, we're going to be disappointed in ourselves, and ending, we're not going to pursue it anymore. So it is better to make a list, get top 3 or top 5, then prioritize those for you to be able to know that, oh, nagwo-work the things that I'm doing is working, and I'm happy doing this, so I'm now going to proceed to the next one. So yeah, that is it. This is an example that you could do in your notebooks, or di lang now, but you can do it tonight or later after this webinar. Next, number 3 is assess the things that you don't love. So it's important to know what you don't love as well. Kasi we don't want ito yung mga things that we don't want ourselves to be. And like benchmarks na parang, these are the things that I wouldn't do so that I would be someone that I love. Yung parang dadating ka dun sa someone that I love, and you're not going to do the things that you dislike. Does that make sense? So, one, waiting in long lines or queues. Ito yung mga ayaw nyo. Dealing with paperwork, cleaning chores. So, you already know that, oh, these things, it will not work for me. It will not work for me for me to be able to maximize my passion. Next, acknowledging your strengths and also your achievements. So for you to discover your authentic self, it is important knowing that you understand who you are and your strengths and achievements. So most especially in freelancing, I just want to include that here. There are people who are starting na they think that, oh, magsa-start ako from scratch with freelancing. But everyone here has their own experience. Like, hindi tayo nagsa-start from scratch. We have our own experiences. Like maybe in grade school or in high school, you were in the top of your class. So why are you in the top of your class? Because you are good in studying, or you're good in reading, or you're good in English. So there are already strengths and achievements that we haven't recognized, because yun nga, life happens. But it is very important here that we should list down, ano ba yung strengths ko? Ano ba yung mga achievements ko? Like before, when in college, what are my strengths? So one of my strengths would be teamwork. One of my strengths would be I am a good leader, I believe, because during group works, I am the leader of the group. So during events, I do event organizing, and I'm happy to do it. So those are the things that you've already done, pero di mo lang alam na, oh, magaling pala ako dito. And this is something that I'm passionate about, or this is something that I'm happy afterwards, after ko siyang ginawa. So once you realize that this, your strengths and also your achievements, you'll find even more reasons to achieve and accomplish bigger things. So, for example, 'di ba, event organizing, noon you were like volunteering now, and ngayon identifying that, oh, there is a spark there. I think I could be able to do more events, create more events, and maybe create more events that would help other people, like this, create more webinars that would help other students or would help other individuals. So again, what are those tips? One, create your personal vision statement. And number two, make a list of the things that you love. Number three, list down the things that you don't love or you don't like. And four, you need to acknowledge your strengths and also your achievements. So now, what other things that we can explore on for us to be able to know what are the things that we're passionate about? So one, we can do childhood interests. So I've been following this business coach for quite a while now, ever since I've started freelancing. And apparently, she is not she didn't graduate design. She didn't practice like graphic design in her earlier years, but now she is offering it as her service. And why is that? Because she identified that whenever she do something na maganda, or like graphic design or anything, or drawing or illustrations, parang may spark sa kanya. So she tried to leverage on it, and now she is offering it as a service. So number two, trying new things. So, 'di ba, whenever we try new things, there we will be able to discover that, oh, pwede ko pala tong gawin. I didn't know that this is something that I'm happy to do. And three, reflecting on activities. Same again with acknowledging your strengths and activities. What are the recent activities uh that ignites a fire in you? So example here for me, me and Miss Jera, we joined a art fair last February, and I haven't imagined myself years ago that I can be able to do it. And once I am in that event na, I felt so happy because parang na-ignite yung spark, na-ignite yung creativity ko. It is something that I haven't gotten in touch to, because para sa akin, um, like, you can just be an artist if kinukuha ka na ng mga galleries. But having art fairs, you could also connect with other people who share the same experience as you. So there are also individuals there who engages to your story through your artworks. So next, another thing that also helped me. So this is what I've done. I think in the middle of the pandemic, na-discover ko tong si Ikigai. Anyone here familiar with Ikigai? May familiar ba with Ikigai dito? Yes.
Familiar with it.
You're familiar with it. So, yung Ikigai, it is a Japanese term that blends with Iki, meaning leave, and Gai, meaning reason. So, this is what the Ikigai, ano ba tawag to, graph or pictograph looks like. So, in the middle, parang to, so in here we have like four big parts. We have what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. So what I've done anong ginawa ko, I listed down 10. 10 things that I do love, 10 things that the world needs, not necessarily up to date, but what the world needs according to your point of view. 10 things that I can be paid for. So, nilista ko doon, ano ba yung mga skills ko na pwede akong mabayaran. And next, what you are good at. So, that's why it's very important that you acknowledge your strengths and also your achievements, para you'd be able to know, like, these are the skills that I could be able to leverage in. So, ito. So, once nalista mo na to, you combine what you love and what you are good at, and that is your passion. What you love and what the world needs, that is your mission in life. What you can be paid for to what the world needs, that is your vocation. And what you can be paid for and what you're good at, and that is your profession. But again, it doesn't necessarily mean na, oh, dapat ko itong ma-perfect. Because again, in life, it is an experimentation. So, you need to experiment here and there at, oh, ito, gagawin ko siya at first. I'll fulfill this, what you are good at and what you can be paid for, number one. Pero if it doesn't work, you can proceed to number two. So, yeah, this is how it works. So, I think before, yung pinaka number one na nilagay ko talaga dito is graphic design, and I think I'm good at branding. So, I pursued it, and yeah, we're still here 3 years now. So, now, if you're able to do na or maximize or already know ano ba yung passion mo, you'd be able to know your North Star. So what is your North Star? It is the intersection of your values, your beliefs and also your purpose in life. So, 'di ba, a lot of people, ewan ko if nakikita nyo 'to, like, yung North Star ko is helping other people, or yung North Star ko is, creating beautiful things with my hands. So, these people have already knew, like, these are the things that they are passionate about. So now, ano ba yung mga examples of passions, 'di ba? Miss, ano ba yung difference ng passion tsaka hobbies? Kasi they can be interchanged or they can be uh, like people get confused. Ano bang difference nila? So when we talk about passion, something na you're happy and joyful to do, while hobbies is like ginagawa mo lang siya now, but you're not consistently doing it. So, example here, we have people who have their calling, no? Number one is artists dedicating hours to perfect their craft. So there are also people like their hobbies is like creating stickers to sell. So pwede yun. But a passion is like creating beautiful things that makes you happy. So ito, for the chefs, they experiment with new flavors and techniques that would make their guests happy. For web developers, constantly learning new technologies. Kasi during the last event that I went to in Taiwan, I haven't realized that there are people who are passionate about coding. Doon ko na-realize na, oh, may mga tao pala talagang who spend months, years understanding coding and teaching it to other people. And ito yun, they are passionate in learning new technologies to teach to other people and to use the technology into their services na binibigay nila sa clients nila. Next, teachers. They are finding innovative ways to inspire students and then also to teach. Like, they treat their classrooms as a battleground wherein they are going to bring their students from point A to point B. Now, here comes the challenges, no? So, I know madaming nakaka-relate na it's very hard to time manage if you're juggling multiple things. Actually, before this talk, I have gotten a few messages telling me that, oh, Peach, ang dami-dami mo ginagawa. How do you maximize your time? Like, you've been doing your freelancing business. Then another time you're doing an exhibit, and another time you're doing this, you're doing that. So, one of the challenges talaga is time management. And yung parang hindi enough. I don't know if you can relate with me, di enough yung 24 hours in a day. So that's the one of the challenges. Two, focus and prioritization. You're having a hard time staying focused and prioritizing a task. So for example, you're during the day, or during the day you're working with a 9 to 5 job, then after that, gagawa ka pa ng something else, or you're going to do your artworks. Sometimes it's so hard to focus, it's so hard to prioritize kasi one, pagod ka na. Two, I just want to rest. Three, ayan, meron pa bang three? So one, hard time like managing your time na, oh, marami pa akong gagawin, kakain pa ako, going out with friends. So talagang there's ito, one of the struggles ko 'to, focus and prioritization. Up until I work on something na nag-work siya for me. So, I'm going to share that in the later slides. And next, self-doubt and comparison. So, I have met someone, I think a month ago. She's actually my friend back in college. Then now may business siya. She's been doing merch inspired by K-pop. So she's been joining like fairs, ganon. And she told me na, oh, Peach, I don't show my works often in social media because I think people with uh yung parang yung self-esteem niya, because I'm not really good on what I do because I didn't graduate fine arts, I didn't do design. So, ganun yung naging perception na. And again, that's a challenge for multi-passionates. Like, it's something that I'm still working on still now. And I think I also shared this with Miss Jera, and Grace here is also in the crowd, that I'd had a hard time like with my self-doubt. Like whenever I post something, iniisip ko, ano ba kayang sasabihin ng ibang tao? So yeah, those are the challenges. So now, how are we going to battle those? So from the challenges, what is the answer? What is the solution? So one, time management hacks. Ano ba 'tong management hacks na 'to? This is so easy to tell you, but it is so hard to do, because this is one of the isa din 'to sa challenges ko that I'm still working on now. So one is scheduling, two, batching similar activities, and three, set realistic goals. So now in Google Calendar, what I usually do with my schedule is I do this. So, naka-time block na siya. So, for morning, I do this specific task. Then, in the afternoon, I work on my artworks. Kasi baka may exhibit ako, ganun. Or, I try to record content kasi I'm going to post it on TikTok, educational content that I'm going to post on TikTok. Or there's a specific time there that I'm going to practice my public speaking stint. So, ganun. I work on those and naka-time block siya. That's for me to be able to see that, oh, this is how am I going to maximize my schedule. Now, Peach, um, I have a problem with that. Sometimes yung isang task na overlap yung isang task. So ano ba yung kailangan kong gawin? So that's the time that you need to prioritize what is needed to be done first. So that's why dun sa what you love to do, you need to uh prioritize three things. And for those, you'd be able to know that ano ba yung pinaka main priority mo right now. So let's say our main priority right now is we need to earn money. So we need to have money for us to be able to fund our passion or the things that we're passionate about. So we need to fulfill that first. And once we're already done with that, then we can proceed to the next task, which is doing art, maybe practice dancing. So maybe watch watch a film that would make you be yung para ma-inspire ka. So, yun. And batch similar activities. So, what I do din dito, this is something that I've actually learned back in college. Like, there is a right side and left side of the brain. So, di ba, there's the side of the brain that is, ano bang tawag doon? Yung task that is needed to be done is something analytical, reading, math. And there's this other side of your brain na para for creativity. So what I usually do is during the morning, and ito talaga yung sinasabi ko for some people, and I was having a hard time with their task. During the day, you need to prioritize first yung analytical task mo. Reading, writing down notes, like reading the news, strategizing, creating your content. Lagay mo dun everything. Then after that, once you're already done with that, transfer to the other side of your brain. So once you transfer to the other side of your brain, do the creative task then. So ano bang mangyayari if you keep on switching from either sides of your brain? Your brain will be tired. That's why sometimes we don't have any focus anymore and we don't know how to prioritize anymore. Na sometimes sabi na lang natin na, oh, mapapahinga na lang ako because my brain is tired and I am tired and I am burnt out. So yeah, this is something that maybe you, people here in this webinar can maximize as well. And three, set naman realistic goals. So, example, no, ginawa ko doon kanina, like, 5 years from now, I will be a full-time visual artist. I know it sounds impossible, but I believe I can do it since parang I see opportunities and resources here and there. So, if you're someone who's still starting out, maybe, let's say in 3 years, I need to join an art fair, ganun. Or if you're someone who's keen into creating merchandises, ganon, in 1 year, I'm going to create one product. So, yung one product na yun will be like a card or a sticker, ganon, that I could be able to sell in the next Comic Cat or in the next fairs. So, Yeah, that's time management. Next is finding synergy. Ano ba tong finding synergy? So how your one passion can connect and support another passion. So for example, here we have writing skills. So one one passion is writing skills and the other passion is photography. So for you to be able to parang nurture something no that would make you happy. Maybe you can create a blog na with your photographs, you could create stories about your day, about your trip, ganon. Because ito kasing finding synergy, parang, I wanted to share my own experience. Kasi content creation, yung TikTok ko kasi, I have been parang nalilito ako on how am I going to do it for the longest time. And someone approached me that, Peach, sorry, nagbisaya ako. So, Peach, um, there's not a lot of graphic designers who teach like beginner social media designers or social media marketers to do design. And for me, I have been passionate about helping or teaching for the longest time. So, but it didn't come to mind na pwede ko palang i-maximize yung TikTok ko. Kasi yung TikTok ko, akala ko lang para for me to be able to get a lot of likes, to be able to get a lot of views. So, yun yung iniisip ko na dapat I should be viral. But I didn't know that I could be able to maximize it to my own cause. So, after that, after creating videos. I apparently like creating videos now and I add like design graphics here and there. And whenever I upload it, I'm so happy that I get to see my videos even though there's not di gaanong marami yung likes, hindi gaanong maraming ang views. Alam mo yung feeling na parang kinikilig ka whenever you do something that is that. And that's why I kept on pushing and just creating and posting because I didn't know that there are other people who find my content helpful for them. So yun, like having synergy of the two things that you like or three things that you like so that you can maximize it and you'd be able to like have that rewarding feeling afterwards. Next, embracing the journey. So very self-explanatory, encourage a growth mindset. So apparently, when I was studying kasi 2 years ago, I had a talk in one of the schools here in Cebu. And 'di ba as what I've mentioned earlier, I taught ang tawag nito, summer art workshop to kids back in the day when I was still in college. So summer art workshop in the kids for 3 years. And nakalimutan ko tuloy yung sasabihin ko. Summer art workshop for kids for 3 years. And there, na parang we dun sa research, yung growth ng student ay ng mga bata, like for example, 5 to 6 years or year old or below 10 years old, psychology says na at peak yung artistic skills ng mga bata. It just come to a point wherein nasa-stop siya. That's why, 'di ba? I don't know if similar ba sa experience niyo. I've known a lot of people that back in the day, they used to draw, they used to do creative things, but they stopped doing it because around them or people around them stop their growth in terms of creating. So yan yung that's something that maybe we can work on, kasi may ibang tao talaga na, oh, wag mo nang i-pursue yan because hindi yan para sa'yo. Wag mong i-pursue yan because iba yung course mo. 'Di ba? So, encourage a growth mindset because growing doesn't necessarily mean just in a specific profession, but you can grow into different industries. Next, celebrate your progress no matter how small it is. So this is very important. Like treat yourself to kumain ka ng Jollibee whenever you get a sale or whenever you upload something na about photography. So celebrate that progress no matter how small it is, because no one's going to cheer for you but yourself. Next, connect and learn. So, it's part of embracing the journey, connect and learn to other people. So me here, I connect with Miss Jera here, uh, asking her about her journey, about her experiences, and that helps me to create more things, no, not just inside the box of what I knew. So, connecting and learning is for you to be able to grow your mindset, to grow your network as well, and people who could you could ask for help. Example, a different set of eyes for your decisions sa art mo, sa ganun. And next is tracking your progress. So for tracking your progress, this is something that I do eh. So in my notebook, I don't know if you can see it here. I track my progress in my journal. So lahat ng mga pinagagawa ko. So ngayon, ano ba yung saan na ba ako ngayon sa business ko? Saan na nga ba ako ngayon sa art career ko? And where I wanted to go. Because again, if we want to pursue something that we are passionate about, we need to know the steps for us to be able to get there. And for us to be able to get there, we need to track the progress. Nagpa-progress ba ako for me to be able to get to my goal? So that's why it's very important to track it, to jot it down. Next, lastly is seek inspiration in terms of embracing the journey. So you need to get out there, na parang meet new people, create new experiences. Maybe if you have the resources, you could travel as well. Maybe go to different kinds of activities like conferences, ganon, on things that you're passionate about, things that you wanted to do. Because that would help us mold how do you want to maximize your passion. So, balancing multiple passions, no, might seem tough. Kasi parang, ang dami-dami, seem overwhelming. But just need to find the balance into it. So maybe there are times that we're going to be overwhelmed. That's okay. Because wala naman tayong kakompetition. Our only competition is ourselves. If are we going to pursue it or not? So you just need to find that balance, the right mix. The goal here isn't to be perfect, but just to find a good mix that feels right for you. No, just like in painting, if you're going to paint, diba, you're going to add another color, another color, another color. But at the end of the day, it molds as to one. So yan yung nagme-make for us to be unique, because each of us is different. Each of us has different experiences, and each of us has different passions, and that makes us who we are. So, but eto talaga yung pinaka-tip ko for everyone before I end this talk is you don't have to romanticize finding your passion. Kasi sometimes, ang nangyayari na kasi na, oh, you just have to find your passion kasi that would make us who you are, ganon, ganon. But you just need to create it. So you need to follow those steps for you to be able to maximize it. No need to romanticize it for para maging inspiring ka for other people, but the real work is inner work for yourself. Hindi siya for the benefit of other people. So, yeah. That's it. Thanks for joining me as I shared to you like how my journey went through, and here's to embracing all of your passion. So if you're eager to connect with me and to my socials, you could connect with me at Jerlinia Galgo through Instagram and also in TikTok and Twitter as well. So yun. Yeah, that's it for the talk. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Peachy. I know Miss Jorlinia is open for questions already, but let's her have some few minutes to like refresh and rest for a bit. Okay. Now TLRC and Makisini collaboration. Today's episode is actually the last episode. It's the ultimate episode for the series, and we do hope that every one of us here will also be staying tuned for the next series that might come out on July. Okay, that's just and we also do hope that you can network your learnings from the TLRC UP Cebu to your family members, to your friends, and to your communities. The more people who are learning, the more we will also be more encouraged. No, the more encouraged we are to create um more series for you. Okay, so more. Okay, Miss Julinia, ready?
Yeah, ready na.
Okay.
I-answer ko lang 'to, Miss Jera. Ano 'to, check ko lang yung Q&A.
We will okay. We'll just answer those in the Q&A. For those who cannot access the Q&A, you can also write down your or encode your questions in our chat box. For the
Mhm.
first question, Mr. Linya, how did you handle the marunong lang pero hindi magaling thoughts?
Ah, okey actually na-experience ko 'to kasi sige a little bit backstory. I went to Taiwan, 2 weeks ago for an event. Out of 200 na nag-apply for a speaking engagement there, I was one of the few who got chosen. So I think we're 50 speakers who got chosen. And same, ito yung naging thought ko. Marunong lang ako pero hindi ako magaling. And that event, it is focused kasi on web development. I don't know if you're familiar with WordPress. It is something that I haven't dabbled on in my freelancing career or in my business, but I just went with it and applied for the speaking engagement. Pero yun nga, afterwards, I had like self-destructive thoughts or ano bang tawag doon? Yung parang nakalimutan ko anong tawag dun na thoughts, but these kinds of thoughts na marunong lang, pero hindi magaling. What I did, like, kinausap, I talked to some of my friends, gano'n, and they told me na, "You were one of the chosen. Don't think na you're not worth it because feeling mo, yan yung sinasabi ng ibang tao. But you were one of the chosen, so they saw a potential on you." And I just wanted to share 'no, na usually kasi yung ganitong thoughts iniisip natin kasi na we're comparing ourselves to other people. Ito rin yung na-experience ko with arte na I just knew something about this, but hindi naman ako magaling. That's why, not a lot of hindi pa ako nag-grow sa career ko, gano'n, gano'n. But it's just self-destructive thoughts, to be honest. What you could do with that, ginagawa ko, I write it on my journal, and then ginagawa ko, like parang under that statement, ko, ano ba yung mga magaling ako? So I write down what are the things that I'm good at. What are the things that I'm good at? Tapos, I try to self-talk myself. Kasi at the end of the day, meron talagang self-destructive thoughts eh. Unless other people told you na, oh, hindi ka naman talaga magaling. But in another note naman yan. But if these self-destructive thoughts will eat you up, it's going to stop you in pursuing what you want. What do you really want? So yeah, does that answer the question?
Accessible negative thoughts. Pinaka-accessible yan. So, di ba, we have different inner beliefs. So, we
Mm,
have our core beliefs. We also have our um, outer or accessible beliefs. And sometimes, most of our negative thoughts are part of our accessible beliefs. So, if you don't want to like take away all of those accessible negative beliefs, you won't get into your inner core
yeah,
beliefs, which
yeah.
would, make you more passionate about what you're doing,
Mm,
make you want to learn more about what you're doing, and later on with that you become more um expert or adept at that something that you're passionate about.
mm,
So,
totoo.
yun. Magaling
Ayun.
yun. Next question. Most say that pursuing passion is only for the rich. What is your thoughts about this?
Oy, actually totoo 'to. Totoo 'to. Pursuing things kasi in my case, like I'm pursuing something na hindi siya hindi siya cheap. Like art isn't cheap. Like you need to invest in your skills, you need to invest in your materials, gano'n. Mahal siya. But and I know a lot of us here are trying to make ends meet. And I actually met I just want to share a specific story because I've met he's also a freelancer. He is a fashion designer. He graduated fashion design in University of San Carlos. But he keeps on pursuing yung passion niya, which is fashion. But ano yung ginawa niya na parang, wow, totoo, no? Na pwede ko din gawin. For him to fund his passion, he work as a VA right now and also a freelancer. To para he could be able to fund himself to do fashion design. Kasi fashion design is expensive as well. Then yan din yung ginawa ko with myself. I strategized, like I created like a separate bank account na hinulog-hulugan ko every time para whenever ang tawag doon, like nagpapa-frame ako ng something for exhibits, dun ko kukunin yung pera. But there are also things that maybe hindi need ng pera, no? Like such as volunteering work. Maybe you don't know na passionate ka din about that. Volunteering work. It's just a matter of understanding what your passion is and maybe start from the basics. So, pwede din naman na ako, if I don't have the means yet, I will not join any exhibits unless I can get sales. So how can I get sales? I can sell my works through Instagram. I could sell my works through like reaching out to other people, networking, send emails. So yung ganun yung ginagawa ko. So again, working backwards for you to be able to get there. But for your question, for me and my belief, yes, before I thought that things that you're passionate about is just for the rich. But I guess it's how you're going to maximize what you have for you to be able to pursue your passion.
Exactly.
Mm.
Maximizing your current capacities and
Mm.
also your resources.
Mm.
I am passionate about teaching.
Mm.
I like teaching and I like volunteering, and that's the reason why I stuck here with the LRC hosting
Ah.
for the
Ah,
rest of the.
yeah. Yeah, I noticed. I noticed, Miss Jera.
I hosted since 2020.
Ay, totoo.
Yes. So
So,
I'm
yeah.
already like the face of the LRC when it comes to webinars.
Yeah, there are things na ganito. Example, I like events, ganon, but I don't have the capacity to like parang organize, ganun, ganun. So I volunteer here and there kasi what makes me happy and it doesn't cost a penny. It just costs your time. Cost you time.
Yes.
But yeah, again, maximizing.
And since I am passionate about volunteering and doing things like this, that's the reason also why I was able to develop some of my hosting skills.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like hitting, I don't want to hit birds, but hitting two things
Yeah, totoo.
one
Totoo yan,
time.
Miss Jera. Yung parang volunteering muna for malay mo, 'di ba, magkakapera ka na next time whenever people are going to invite you. Oh, Jera, can you host for us? Yan.
Exactly. I like it. I like that the most. Okay. So passion, it's not just about creative things. It can also be other things,
Mm.
non-creative, something that you really, really have a deep feeling about.
Mm.
And this deep feeling can actually lead you to learning more about that particular thing. Okay, so hindi lang para pang mayaman yan. If you know your resources, if you know your capacities, and you know how to work around it, according to Miss Jerlinia, you can actually pursue your passion. Okay, for our last question, do you have anything to say to your younger self as you were starting to pursue your passions?
Ano ba? before kasi, 'di ba parang I mentioned, I worked before in Emergency Rescue Unit Foundation. So, it is a non-government organization for emergency rescue, gano'n. And at one point, younger years ko yun, eh. I think I'm in my early 20s, and at one point I told myself, "Oh, Pitch, sinayang mo yung years mo uh, for that." But I haven't realized na while I'm doing that, yung passion ko pala is parang in hospitality, helping other
Mm.
people, parang gano'n. I didn't realize that yun pala yun. But sabi ko, grabe pa yung anger ko no'n na parang, I've wasted 3 years of my life, and akala ko kasi yung passion ko lang talaga is design, kasi yun yung gusto kong gawin. But I haven't figured that that's yun yung passionate about ko, eh. So, um, yun yung pinaka parang naging hatred siya na, kasi parang too centered ako na ito dapat yung kailangan kong i-pursue. But nag-pursue ako ng something else, and I'm too hard on myself that, you should pursue this, you should pursue that because this is something that you should do. But at the end of the day, na-realize ko na all of the experiences that I've had in the past made me who I am now. And um telling my younger self, I guess won't change anything kasi it all happened in the past na for me, eh. I guess siguro, it all happened in the past. Kasi recently ko lang din na-discover yung passion ko, and kasi ngayon lang ako naging open-minded about it, because before I was too focused on like, I wanted this to be my career, I wanted my passion to be my career, and um naging toll siya in doing my craft because I got burnt out. So, ano ba yung question? Parang ang dami ko ng pinagsasabi. But yeah, do you have anything say to your younger self? I guess just don't be too hard on yourself, because everything will pan out accordingly. Like walang bad decisions, because those bad decisions is going to mold you on who you are now, like years after. So just
What
hold on
you
lang.
what you chose during those times are still part of the lessons that you've learned
Yes.
all. So yeah, wag maging hard sa self.
Yeah.
Okay, so last. What things you had to let go because you pursued your passion?
Time. Time for other things. I learned to let go of things that doesn't have value on me anymore. Oh, charot, no?
Charot.
Pang-independent. Pero, oo, doesn't value anymore. Like, for example, I don't drink that much na. Like, before, back in college, I used to be, party, inuman dyan, inuman dito. But now, I learned to say no to those things na, parang, I don't gain anything from it. So yeah, time with things that doesn't give value to me. Uh, Sometimes though, time with my family during weekends, because yun nga, sometimes if may exhibits, ganon, I try to um, maximize the time that I have while juggling also my freelancing business. But I let them understand na, I'm still working on this, working on that. But at the end of the day, if nandun na sila sa exhibit, they're cheering for me. Ganun naman yung nangyayari. But yeah, time lang. Yung time talaga, number one. Yun talaga yung pinakamalaking naging sometimes loss, but sometimes a gain also for me.
Mm. Kasi um we all live in a very linear continuum when it comes to time. We all have this idea of time as something that is spent. But in
Mm-mm.
most cases, time is more like how do you spend a specific portion of your day. So a lot of time will be spent on your passion, on trying to, get past some of the things that you need to do to be able to succeed onto something. And that is okay. So there are really things that we have to let go. It may be vices, it may be some things, but according to Miss Jerlinia, things that does not give value to you can be let go. You can let
Mm.
go of it. So always remember that. That is actually a good lesson for many of us because we are kind of hoarders, including time. We hoard a lot of time. We think
Mm.
that we are the gods of time. We
Yeah.
think that we are gods of things. We
Mm.
hoard memories a lot.
Yeah.
So sometimes these are things that we have to
Yeah.
learn. Okay. So that concludes our question and answer portion. And thus, okay, let's have the awarding of certificates. So as our coordinator is preparing for that, Miss Jerlinia's talks about juggling your passions alongside with things that are necessary for you to achieve your goals. So it started with your vision, and your journey should be focused on things that will add up to your vision. And don't forget about things that might challenge you, and there are ways to overcome it. And it's okay if you're slow, if you're fast. A lot of people has their own timeline, and you don't have to think about passion as something that is burdensome. If it takes a toll on you, then that is not passion. Okay? So everyone, Sir Nan, let's present the certificate to Miss Jerlini.
Okay, so thank you so much, Miss Jara and also Miss Angelina, for this very inspiring talk this afternoon. I know, ma'am, that I know, Miss, that you're too busy. You're still juggling a lot of things right now, but we from UP Cebu, especially here in PLRC, would like to sincerely um, thank you for your time and also for your presence here. And also, we really love your talk for this afternoon. So here, as what you can see on the screen, we are presenting to you guys the certificate of appreciation. Is actually given, proudly given to Miss Jerlinia April Galgo for sharing her invaluable time and expertise as a resource speaker in the webinar The Art of Balance, Juggling Your Passions on March 27, 2024 via Zoom, given this 27th day of March of 2024 at UP Cebu Lahug, Cebu City, signed by yours truly. It's also a really nice and inspiring talk before we'll proceed, before we'll spend our whole week with our family. Thank you so much again, Miss Jerlina, for this talk.
Thank you so much, Miss Jerlinia.
Thank you,
Okay.
miss.
Okay, let's have our YouTube live streaming turned off first before we do our